So yeah, that's a very good point, Natalie. You just have some like general ideas, and then you want to put into your hotel. And for me, that's already enough. Na kay what they call this. That's basically what I want to do with this like 1 month project. Okay, again, apiki siya, huot siya, like 5 weeks. So just like a general idea is fine lang yun. And then for the purpose of the record, could you state your kanang problem again? And I where what your ideas are?
Like the title, sir.
Yeah, the title and what are your like what's the problem statement?
Okay. So ang title na sir was the application of hybrid hospitality in a proposed sustainable business hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically I focused on trying to integrate more co-working spaces, so like leisure and efficiency,
Mm,
and then yeah, and flexibility as well, application of flexibility in the spaces.
okay, very good. So how you will structure your research? It's still the same thing. Chapter one, introduction. Chapter two, um, what was chapter two again? My brain.
RRL, sir.
Yeah, review related lit, and then your chapter three is methodology. I think. Am I?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
I For this output, sir, wala pa man methodology, sir, no?
Let me just double check. What's up? Wala, my brain is like kind of loading right now. Let's see. Yeah. Anyway, the standard. I have it here. The standard setup, the research format in our Canvas is introduction, rationale, statement of problem, objective, scope and limitation, definition of terms, review related lit, and our chapter three is architectural program. So muna siya. So same mo introduction, you just state na hotels need to be more hospitable, etc., etc. And then what are the different sort of dimensions for those co-working spaces so that your design will have like uh, a clear goal. So it's not just the regular time saver standards building types na hotel, bro. It has like a direction that you want to focus on co-working spaces, etc., etc.
Uh, so like sa RRL na, sir?
I know. I'm just talking about in general. So let's see. Format wise, so para mag-guided mo, so it's not so lutaw. So introduction. Why you think a hospitable hotel is needed? Rationale. I think that's just like a. I think we can combine the rationale at this point. Um, Other stuff that you want to describe why the hotel is needed. Statement of problem, kato siya, what are the different dimensions and like what do you call this? Spaces that will make your hotel more hospitable. Your objectives basically break down the problem. What are the different steps to solve that problem? Scope and limitations. What do you call this? Uh, what will you exclude? Because like this is a 5 week kanang design problem, so you probably exclude like deeper like social sciences, whatever, I don't know, maybe things that you can sort of scope and limitation supposed to be tells you where to stop researching so you can focus on reviewing the related lit and the architectural programs. And then definition of terms, again, as I wrote here, like what do you mean by hospitality specifically for your problem, because that's your special term. And then when you get to review related lit, um, let's say you have one research paper or like a one kanang source, talk about that source and like what are the key points in that say website, research paper, or book that you use now that you will be applying in your design. So for our class, because like apiki na like we have 1 week, okay na yun na one source or two source lang. um, you don't need to cite time saver builders building standards because we all have that same source. You can go directly to the thing now, focusing on hospitality, focusing on. We had one student talking about like efficiency and yeah, kana. And then architectural program, your bubble diagram na it. So you have your lobby, your function halls, your elevator, utility cores, and then where will the co-working space be in this like bubble diagram or space matrix for your design. So kana na siya.
Okay, sige, sir.
Okay. Feel free to
Um,
ask questions.
Sir, I have another question, sir.
Mm.
Sir, for the, I think sa Canva, sir, the one you posted, for the RRL, sir, I think you mentioned, sir, na like, two technologies or innovations ang ibutang there. And then,
Oh,
so,
yeah. Let me.
what I ended up doing, sir, was I just talked about like mga like technologies, sir, na sustainable and like maybe a technology that could help with flexibility. So
Mm.
I didn't really talk about like co-working spaces and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about
Okay,
like a
ra.
certain technology.
Mm.
Sige, sir. And like how
Yeah.
it can like help lang.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as but the whole goal of this like research is to like give your kanang, excuse me, design kanang direction. Okay. Yeah. So even if it's not super kanang focused, it's a bit more general. Okay, Rajud. This is the first time we're doing it this sem, and probably the first time we're doing it this early in the architectural course. But yeah, okay, good na siya. So you're basically on the right track now. And then maybe if you feel like di ka sure if sakto yung mong work, you're free to like send me a message to see or like check your progress, etc.
Sige, sir. Is it okay if I send you a PDF, sir?
Yeah, okay ra.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Mm. Sige. Anyone else? Sorry, I've just focused on two students today. Please just go ahead kasi ganahan.
Good morning, sir. I
Sige.
have a question regarding the RRL, sir. Just to clarify, so we don't have to put any dimensions like what we did before. So it's just purely like a summary of the technologies that we want to apply, sir. So we don't have
Yeah.
to put NBC, anything like that.
Mm. Yes, okay, Rajud. But if you
Uh,
want to, you can still put in there the dimensions, but we're all using the same source, like Time Savers or like whatever hotel design website we're using. It's more or less going to be the same for everyone.
okay, thank you, sir.
Hmm. All right. Anyone else?
Good morning,
Sir, I
sir.
have a question.
Hi.
Okay. Janelle got in first.
Um, what did you say again about you said something about 70% and then 30% of the research paper?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what do you call this? The research paper. Um, I would say na having the basic NBC stuff in there, and then some of the what do you call this? Oh, wait, okay. I notice I'm contradicting myself here. Na what they call this? The dimensions of like room sizes. Now that I think about it even more, because time constraints and other such things, like we have to finish this by Wednesday, 16. I might need to I just need to make a rubric na lang para clear. Because initially I thought na people would want to put in the building dimensions, but the way with this discussion is going, it seems like we can forego that. Okay, yeah, it's basically going to be in time saver standards, etc. So I would like you to kind of focus on what your ideas will be or what your concepts will be, and that will be the meat of your research paper. So for example, earlier I said 70% will be your kanang NBCs and like room sizes, but now I'm feeling like it'll be better if we just cut to the chase, like go directly to what the technologies and innovations are we going to put in our buildings, because like at the end of the day I can just give you the hall sizes, the room sizes, and then yeah, you can still make a very good hotel out of that. But it's nothing kind of interesting. If at least like if I'm being frank, nothing like interesting we haven't seen before. So I want us to make something new, specifically for our class. Other teachers will have the different one um, requirements for the research. Nagkuan lang yung I don't know, it's probably because I'm writing a research paper of my own. I feel like we need to push a bit more as a research phase. Yes. Hopefully that answered your question.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Dara was next.
Yes, sir. Regarding sa ano sir ba, sustainability na technology good sir.
Hmm.
Actually naka-choose na ko sir katong rainwater harvesting system ang integrate na ko sa building sir.
Hmm.
Pero naman gud ko yung nakita sa internet sir na dili gid siya literally technology na ay machines and all but ang way sa iyang pag-collect sa rainwater is ang whole roof deck niya sir, ang floor ang mag-catch sa rain. Then
Hmm.
ano lang siya sa floor drain tapos diretso siya dito sa water vessel na storage sir.
Tank. Oh, yeah, that's good. So just describe how that works in the research paper, and yeah, okay na.
And ano sir ba, wala man gud ko makita na building na naga-use og kanang katong sa floor gid lagi sir kanang pinaagi gud sa floor ang ano, ang pag-collect sa
Hmm.
rainwater.
Hmm.
So, bale ang ibutang na ako sa RL sir kay katong paunsa na lang nila na process ang rainwater.
Yes. Yes.
Illustration na lang tong kuan sir. System na ko sa rooftop. Paunsa
Yes.
okay.
So illustration siya niya. I-cite lang asa ka na ako as illustration para ma-refer po na ako.
Okay sir.
Yeah, because like that's really the kind of thing I want to see, because we all know like hallway should be about at least 1.5 in very tight spaces minimum siguro, and then the width max to make it really comfortable. Maybe you'd go for 2 meters. You all design the classrooms. You can like count how many people can fit in one hallway, stuff like that. So that's pretty standard. So I think I'll just like give you guys that probably by Monday, so you can focus more on the innovative stuff. Yes, I think someone else had a question.
Sir, I have a
Hmm.
question. I have a clarification. So,
Hmm.
for like, okay, so we don't have to include the NBC standards and the time saver standards, but we will focus on the innovations long.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, this will
You.
be specifically for our class. Other teachers will still require that, but like because I'm asking you to do something new, I want to lighten your load pod. So di kayo mo pressured. Okay. For me, I want you to be able to do something new and not be distracted by all these like standard blah blah blah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oops, is that me? Oh. Yes. Any other questions?
Good morning, sir.
Here, go ahead.
For my research, sir, the title of my research was a biophilic design for a solar-powered business hotel. So I'm wondering
Mm.
if I should focus on just one sustainable like strategy or technique, since I integrated two in like my research.
Oh yeah. So since na tayo 1 week, I would really advise you to focus on one. Kaya mabisi ka ba niya? Di na mo
Oh,
motiwas.
okay, sir. So if I choose ko answer like biophilic design, so my research will be my RRL for this one will focus lang jud on the biophilic design, like its benefits ba, or like
Yeah.
maybe what
That,
plants to put sa
yes.
hotel.
So since kuha na siya one topic, i-focus na gud ana, and then you can pick two sort of ideas from biophilic design that you can place into your buildings. I say two kay murag one is not enough, two is just okay. Para what they call this. I want to learn more. You like everyone to learn more about new things that we can put into our buildings, and then one siya. Yeah, just focus on one topic. Okay, 1 week na lang, less
Oh,
than.
okay, sir. So no more ko ano sir no mga NBC standards sa RL,
Yeah,
or
yeah. Ako na siya i-provide, because honestly, Mark, I'm tired of reading the same thing over and over again.
okay, sir. Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
sige, sige. Plus, I think it will be fun. beneficial for everyone because it's again 5 weeks. Let's see. The living areas.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, the title of my research paper is An Approach on Bioclimatic Design on a Proposed Business Hotel. And
Mm,
then the meat of my research is like just it's just like exploring the different bioclimatic technologies
mm,
that can be applied on the building, sir. Is that all
mm.
right?
Yeah, but you need to identify what are those bioclimatic technologies. So at
Yes,
least
sir.
two specific ones. From what I understand, bioclimatic technology means like um, actually I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Oh, bioclimatic design, sir, it's like kind of like tropical design. It's like you design based on the local climate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you try to make your building blend in with the environment so that it can
Ah,
be
okay, okay.
like most efficient. Yes, sir.
Sige.
Something like that.
So I would guess there'd be something about minimum roof eaves, what would be an ideal slope to like make sure your building doesn't leak, stuff like that. Um, that's like my general idea based on your description. What are parts of the building that can be modified or like made better and not just following the NBC, so that it will really become bioclimactic.
Yes, sir.
Sige.
Thank
Sounds
you,
good.
sir.
Put it in the comment section
Sige.
para
Thank you, sir.
ma-inspired pa ng uban. Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Maawa ka, sir.
Anyone else?
Sir, I sent the file na, sir.
Oh, you sent it? Asan mo i-send
Sa messenger, sir, or you want sa email na lang, sir?
sa messenger? Okay na. Wait,
Sige, sir.
did you
There.
send it? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay, I'll like put some comments on this and send it back to you. Sige.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, no problem. 870, 870. I'll just highlight in the canvas. I'll be putting up something later about the minimum design requirements hotel, and in general, one thing that students always mess up is that the kitchen. They always make it too small. Um, the general rule, like rule of thumb lang ni siya, if you're serving 200 guests at one time and then you lay out the tables for 200 guests, the kitchen is usually the same size as the guest area or like the dining area. So if you can imagine 200 guests need how many tables and how many like walking aisles, if you total that up, the kitchen would be about the same size as well. So the kitchen not only handles the cooking, but also the storage and the preparation of food. So it's really big. So for to those who are here, I also put this in the canvas. The kitchen is more or less the same size as the serving area, and you just need to make sure the serving area can comfortably fit 200 people because we have 200 guests. And then I think actually you also need to be a bit more. Okay, these convention hotels, they're not only for the people staying at the hotel, but they invite people from outside the hotel. That's why in the canvas you see I add additional how many parking for visitors. Let me see here. How many did I add? Let's see. Tents for my junior managerial staff. We have 200 rooms, so 67. Yeah, I just added 10 more additional slots. That might not be as big, bro. It's a good starting point. Maybe you can add a bit more, something like that. Okay, sorry. I went on a tangent on kitchens. Go ahead. Anyone else who has a question?
Sir, I have a question. But it's
Yeah,
kind
go
of
ahead.
so they said there's one kitchen in the entire hotel, right? Like a really big kitchen.
Hmm.
But then some of the function rooms are on the second floor. Like, do they just bring the food from the kitchen into the like holding room.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's actually a very good point. Let's see here. I think I need to share screen for this. Okay, this would go like share screen. Wala ko nag-on sa camera kaya I literally just rolled out of bed. Let's go to the video shared to us by Sir Linio over here. So yeah, they literally just go from the ground floor and like use a service elevator, um, and then bring it to the upper floors. So there, where is that floor plan over here? Here. So notice I need to. Can you see my mouse?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So kaning white stuff here, it's not really clear because there's no name. This is actually the kitchen. Let me screenshot this from Smoklar. Print screen. Let's go to paint. Ignore my YouTube recommended list. So just to make it super clear, this is actually, my brush is so small. That's how do I increase the brush size. What the? Here we go. Paint. This is actually the kitchen over here, and this is like the hallway that goes around the function rooms. So this in red is the kitchen. Wait, yeah, this actually goes even there. Whoops. So this one all the way up here, all the way down here. So claro siya?
Yes, sir. But I
Yeah.
think it's the second floor of Marco Polo, sir. So I was confused.
Mm-hmm. And notice you see this thing over here. Oh, Control V. B. I'm going to zoom in a bit more. This is a very good presentation by Sir Linio because he actually got the floor plans for it. So notice this door here.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is the service elevator. So they can come in here from the kitchen. There should be a door here. I don't know why there's no door here. So this whole thing is the kitchen over here. Let me zoom out. This whole thing is a kitchen over here, and they should be able to go from there to the service elevator here, and then they bring it up to the second floor. And the way you design it is this like elevator shaft, or these elevator shafts, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, more or less should be in the center of the building, so that whatever floor, both the service people and the public, the guests, have access to whatever rooms are there. So that's basically how you send food from the kitchen here on the ground floor to the upper floors, like a service elevator.
Okay, sir.
Mm-mm. Yes, and then we should be able to see this in your architectural programming sections in your research. Like at the very least, usually the elevator shafts are in the center, and I think Sir Alinio has a couple more examples. Just go through this video, and like I think we can go through it now. If anyone has any questions, feel free to like stop me because I'm like waking up now. This one, the L-shaped one, was very interesting. Okay. Print screen. I think I just need to use Photoshop for this one. Because it's an L shape, so it can't be, it's hard to make it centralized. File, new. Let's just make it 120 dpi. What the? Control V. Control V. There we go. It's very interesting because you have the central, what the other? Sorry, just making noises. You have the elevator shaft here. And notice that I'm just colored in blue. This one is the service elevator because you see the doors that sort of hide it. And then this one in green is the guest elevator. So it's like open directly to the hallway. And then remember we talked about last SAM, for those who are under me, we need fire escapes, at least 2. So here's a fire escape over here. And then there's no fire escape anymore over here. No fire escapes. So these are the 2 fire escapes. I'll just color it in orange. Fire escapes here, fire escape here. And the reason why I think that is that wherever this building was made, could be American or something, there should be a minimum distance that this hallway can be. So I think in our fire code, it's like somewhere between 25 to 30 meters. So as long as you maintain that range, you can actually just have no fire exits here. But with the provision that on the other end, you do have a fire exit. So that's a fire exit 2, that's a fire exit 1, and this would be about 25 to 30 meters, 25 to 30 meters, something like that. So these are the things that I already know or very familiar with, and I don't want to read it anymore. I'm so tired of seeing this over and over again. So that's why I'm focusing on the innovations. Show me something that you want to do, and then I'll just give this to you. Some teachers will definitely disagree with this. It's very quote unquote spoon feeding, but I think the real learning comes from you guys wanting to apply something new to the design process, not just like, oh, I have to look at NBC again. No, 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 no. Because even in I'm just ranting. Please, someone ask a question. Any other questions? Mm-hmm. Wala, no other questions? I guess I can continue then. Asa to? Yeah. Balik ta dire. Hi. Because even in professional practice, these things, a book, it's not really something you need to memorize. You can be familiar with it. And I think after almost 3 years, 3.5 years of architecture, you already know where to find it. So what I will do for this class is just make a Canvas post with all the design stuff. I already have my building codes here. Not building code, time saver standards here. And I'll just basically list down the parts described by Sir Alinio. And just in general, because I'm sure we all know about this. And then we just add more information as we go along. And then everyone will have their own sort of way of making the bedrooms because they have their own goals, whether it be sustainability, bioclimatic, hospitality, stuff like that. Let me see here. As an example of like how will the bedrooms be different? Let's see here. Save bedrooms. Let's see. So let's look at two different themes or like concepts. So the bedrooms. This is for our kanang schematic phase na. I'm just like jumping ahead. Pero let's say you already decided the theme na. Let's write down here in blue. Bioclimatic. And then the other one was hospitality. Hospitality. Let's make this bigger. 60, 72. Yeah. So let's say hospitality will be in red. So from what I understood, I already forgot the name of the student who shared it. Study. Bioclimatic design means it's adapted to the environment. So let's say our north is this way. This is why site planning is very important and tropical design is very important. Because depending on the orientation we're building, there's a lot of like impacts. So let's say north is this way, meaning your sunrise is here, and then your sunset is here. That's an E. I'm just drawing with a mouse. Okay, I think I need to switch a tab, but sorry. So because we're focusing on bioclimatic, the room has to be bioclimatic. Where's my stand? There. Yeah, just do it like this. Okay. So for example, we have this setup where north is up East is to the right, west is to the left. And just looking at this room, let's say let's keep this room as is. So this room is open here. This is a balcony. I'll just write it here, BAL. Now, is this bioclimatic design? So east coming here. On this side, east is here. The number one thing that already pops out to me, and I'm sure to some of you as well, is that the balcony is not facing the morning sun. It's facing the southern sun, which is not very good because typically you don't want too much sun because the Philippines is already pretty hot. And then, as we discussed in AR 2233, the hottest point in, or like the most kanang area exposed to the sun is south. And then, what do you call this? However, the hottest point, if you like go through like the solar sun chart, sorry, is actually a bit more north. But in general, the sun goes through the southern part more because of the location of the Philippines, etc., etc. I think we had like a quiz on this, and I think I may have been too focused on the hottest point and not the average hottest point, or like the more often hottest point, the south. So already this scenario where north is up and then this is the balcony is in the southern face, it's already not good for bioclimatic design. Now let's switch it up to hospitality. So in hospitality, you're focused more on the social factors, I would assume. So it really doesn't matter if north is still up here. What is the focus of hospitality? From what I understood that the student gave is that the users will be comfortable, the users will feel at home. Yeah, that's what the meaning of hospitality is. So you'd probably go for wider hallways and like larger than average room sizes. So these are minimum sizes, 14 feet by 14 feet and 5 inches. So we'll make a calculator, 14 times 3 point, okay, I forgot. Just make it feet, inch, to meter. Let's see, 14 and 5 inches. Convert, 4.39. So let's say this is 4.39. And then the issue with these like more social, more, I would say, broad or abstract concepts is that how do you create hospitality? And you really can't put it into numbers. You can just make it like a bigger number. So this is 4.39. Maybe you can just make it 5.0. And then this is where your anthropometrics comes in. So what is the minimum or like the average dimensions of a Filipino person if you're targeting like Filipino people? So let's say the width shoulder to shoulder is 600 mm, or let's say 0.6 m. So we're all in meters. P 0.60 m. And then with arms outstretched, it would be about 1 meter. And then if this is 5 or that wider, you need to make a room that's very comfortable to open your arms in. And you can cite sources that, yeah, basically whatever makes like people more comfortable, you put that into your design. Whether it be like making the hallways wider, making the rooms bigger, or changing the color scheme even, that could be something interesting and like refreshing to read about. So yeah, that's basically how you apply your concepts as we go through the research and the schematic phase, and then eventually the design development or the preliminary phase. Okay. Let me close this, close this. Don't save. Muna siya. Okay, if there are any other questions, if there are no questions at the moment, you can hop back in. I'll stop recording here.